Hello and good evening. I'm Brittany Brackett and this is your Onyx News.
Live from Onyx News Universal Studios. Coming up next.
Study shows more diverse movie leads in 2018 than ever. Boomerang series modifies story for millennial audiences and other shows plan to sparkle. The University of Southern California's Annenberg Inclusion Initiative just finished a new study saying that more people of color are dominating film these days. From a report released earlier this week, researchers found that women were the lead or co-lead in 40 of the 100 biggest films of 2018. That's growth of 8 movies from 2017 and 20 movies from 2007, which is when the study commenced. There were almost 30 films that had underrepresented minorities in their projects, which was also an increase. Come to find out, women make up 51% of the population, and underrepresented groups hold out at 39% of the population. Blockbuster hit films like Black Panther and Crazy Rich Asians dominated the box office and raked in huge gains in the realm of minority-driven actors. Stacey L. Smith, who is the director of the Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, said this about the changes. 2018 offers hope that industry members have taken action to create content that better reflects the world in which we live, and the box office seems to have rewarded them for it. This data shows us that it is possible for change to be achieved. Companies must not grow complacent, but continue the progress they've made in 2019 and in the years to come. Some of the biggest increases came in more narrowed demographics. 11 of the top 100 films starred a woman of color. In 2017, there were 4. The same number of films, 11, featured female leads aged 45 years or older. In 2017, there were 5. You can always find growth within the industry to provide more opportunities for minorities, and hopefully this is a trend that can continue to be cast in primary roles in the future. Trump is unhappy with the efforts gone into an agreement that doesn't put his border wall expenses first. He's still reeling from the setbacks and that needs to look further at the agreement, which would grant far less than the $5.7 billion he wants for a long-promised wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Trump admits to not wanting another shutdown due to all the issues still being resolved from the last government shutdown. Lawmakers temporarily agreed this past Monday night to a deal that would give nearly $1.4 billion for border barriers, according to legislator Age. The huge undertaking of funding measure, which combines 7 spending bills into one, would flow through the fiscal year, which ends on September 30th. The deal is the same one that Trump could have gotten last year before the shutdown if he hadn't held out so long. The agreement means 55 miles of new fencing, built through existing plans such as metal slats instead of a concrete wall, but far less than the 215 miles the White House petitioned last December. The fencing would be built in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. The contract closely resembles Trump's original budget request from last winter and now has come back to make a second appearance for an approval. Hopes that the deal can also go down without a hitch and squash all the upset between Democrats and Republicans. With Trump getting less than $2 billion to build his wall, media like Sean Hannity are saying it's no bueno, and any Republican that agrees with this phony compromise will have to explain themselves. After a 3-month-long trial full of testimony and admissions of guilt and murder, payoffs, and ruthless behavior, El Chapo was sentenced this past Tuesday. The case was so concealed that the jury's identities were kept secret to protect them, and they reached a verdict after 6 days while reviewing the past piles of evidence proving the deceit, murderous past, and cocaine smuggling activities of Guzman. Strangely enough, even upon hearing the awful news that Guzman will be leading a life with years behind bars, he and his wife looked at the jurors, then at each other, and then pulled a thumbs up to symbolize something in code. Guzman's smuggling was proven to be highly successful, and no border wall was ever in the way of his creatively concealed drug-laden boats, trucks, tankers, and hidden passageways. Many of Guzman's past henchmen testified against him, including past lieutenants and even a Colombian smuggler who went under the knife getting plastic surgery to be undetected. The defense case lasted just half an hour. Guzman's lawyers did not deny his crimes as much as he argued he was the fall guy for government witnesses who were more evil than he was. In the trial's closing arguments, defense attorney Jeffrey Lichtman urged the jury not to believe government witnesses who lie, steal, cheat, deal drugs, and kill people. Guzman will likely spend the rest of his life in jail. Don't you go too far. More Onyx News will be right back after these messages.
Do you have trouble falling asleep or wake up with a sore neck or headache? Then it's time you discovered MyPillow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. 10 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota. I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call now or go to mypillow.com. Use this promo code to save over 50% on a MyPillow 4-pack with 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Order now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Immune Fortress is a supplement that helps increase your glutathione, also known as GSH, nature's master of all antioxidant levels in the body, which are often deficient due to overall aging and when chronic illness is present, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, and kidney problems. The key to Immune Fortress effectiveness, other than taking it correctly, is consistency. To get the best results, take it on a daily basis so your body has the elements it needs to naturally consistently build glutathione levels in order to fight and repair cellular damage and boost your health. Order our Combo 1-2 Punch to boost your immune system today. www.immunefortress.com/now.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The super sensual story of Angela and Marcus from the movie Boomerang has made a comeback. It's not quite the same, but similar enough, with the show featuring the son of Eddie Murphy's character Marcus and the daughter of Robin Givens. Halle Berry teamed up with super producer Lena Waithe to produce this new age version of the love-struck film for the younger audience of today. The show is set in a time of 25 years after the movie, centering on today's problems with life, business, and the pursuit of happiness of the young, gifted, and black on the home front. The new cast includes newcomers to Tonya Jackson, Taquan Richmond, and Leland Martin. Other spring and summer show lineups include The Handmaid's Tale from Hulu on Wednesday, June 5th, and cult-following breakout show that features kings and dragons, Game of Thrones, will premiere April 14th. Catch-22, a project directed and starring the handsome George Clooney, will focus on the insanity of war. Ask Dr. Ruth will spotlight the famous sex therapist Dr. Ruth Westheimer and will be the feature of a documentary airing this spring that teaches youth how to have conversations and not just focus on sex. Adie Bryant, the hilarious comic from SNL, will work on the new series Shrill, depicting a heavier woman who is happy in her own skin and not living a fad diet lifestyle. Abortion also plays a role in the show, as it does in the memoir it derives from. Hulu has partnered with Marvel to bring Howard the Duck into the limelight. Director Kevin Smith and comics Chelsea Handler and Patton Oswalt are among the people who have signed deals with the streaming service to help produce the cartoons. With the deal just being signed, no date has been set for release as of yet. Gabby Gifford's husband, retired astronaut Mark Kelly, wants in. After he almost witnessed his wife die at the hands of a gunman who tried to execute her, he is determined to laser his focus on gun laws and improving his community, starting by running for the U.S. Senate. Republican Martha McSally will be on his heels and ready to compete if he wins the Democratic seat with a super close race for 2020. Kelly has stated that his stance will be simple, to focus primarily on climate change, wage stagnation, and health care affordability. You see a lot of partisanship in Washington and a lot of polarization, and to some extent we've created that, Kelly told the Associated Press. It's going to take people who are more independent to fix it. Arizonans value independence. Kelly wants his race to the White House to be full of fervor and not hateful talk or blame, with an opinion on some lawmakers that they don't even believe in science or data. McCain's term is up for grabs and will have a 6-year term to follow his final 2 years. McCain, a known veteran, prisoner of war, and loved Arizona politician, passed away last year from an aggressive form of brain cancer. McCain served for more than 30 years, working diligently in the Senate, and also cared deeply for his community and the well-being of America. This will be the first time Kelly steps into the shoes of joining the running for an elected office. He flew combat missions during the first Gulf War and was a Navy test pilot before becoming an astronaut, just like his twin brother Scott Kelly. He flew 4 space missions over 10 years and commanded the Space Shuttle Endeavour in 2001 and 11. Leadership ability is one trait that he holds dear, while making sure to uphold the safety of his community as another. After the shooting of his wife, Kelly and Giffords had worked tirelessly to combat gun violence and strengthen gun laws to make sure guns don't fall into the wrong hands. The U.S. military has reported striking a church in Syria that was used as an Islamic State control center and monitoring behavior of the area, the Associated Press reported. Warplanes struck the building, as most military surrounding the premises were also concerned about suicide car bombs. This mosque lost its protected status when ISIS deliberately chose to use it as a command and control center, said the coalition's deputy commander, Major General Christopher Gitka, using another acronym for the group. Hundreds of IS fighters remain in Baghouz, fighting back hard with snipers, suicide bombers, and ambushed shooters, waiting for U.S. military troops to show themselves. Women and children have been killed, and this is what's happening, as it's all just considered loss that is necessary by the ISIS fighters to remain in power. Syrian authorities and their allies have in the past hit hard with IS in the area. Iraq forces have also struck IS targets in Syria from across the border. Activists and residents still believe that there can be an insurgency on the horizon. The Sound and Picture Organization, which documents atrocities in IS-held areas, said an understanding for the evacuation was already reached. It said IS commanders agreed to uncover the fate of foreign hostages that were or are still held by the group and have some issues with senior fighters. Car bombs still plague the cities, especially in northern Syria, where Turkish media reported that a bomb-packed vehicle exploded on the Syrian side of Al-Rai border gate. The overall plan is to evacuate the IS fighters into an area that is close to the border. Onyx News will be right back after our sponsors. See you shortly.
Do you have trouble falling asleep or wake up with a sore neck or headache? Then it's time you discovered MyPillow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. 10 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota. I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call now or go to mypillow.com. Use this promo code to save over 50% on a MyPillow 4-pack with 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Order now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Immune Fortress is a supplement that helps increase your glutathione, also known as GSH, nature's master of all antioxidant levels in the body, which are often deficient due to overall aging and when chronic illness is present, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, and kidney problems. The key to Immune Fortress effectiveness, other than taking it correctly, is consistency. To get the best results, take it on a daily basis so your body has the elements it needs to naturally consistently build glutathione levels in order to fight and repair cellular damage and boost your health. Order our Combo 1-2 Punch to boost your immune system today. www.immunefortress.com/now.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of Virginia is really in hot water, and people are rushing to get him impeached. Attorney Nancy Erica Smith, on behalf of Meredith Watson, an accuser of Fairfax, claims that the hearing should not be stalled. Lawmakers have been accused of pushing this out, and there seems to be no clear date of when hearings could begin to hash this mess out in court. Watson, a past schoolmate of Fairfax, is at Duke University, and Vanessa Tyson, a California college faculty member, have both said the Democratic lieutenant governor sexually assaulted them several years ago and that the hashtag #MeToo movement emboldened them to speak out, along with the fact that they heard about the politician running for a new seat. Fairfax has denied the allegations, as has requested an FBI investigation. Times are tough for the politician, as 2 of his 3 state staffers have left office, not to mention the director and the fundraiser of his political action committee. Their hasty exits were first rumored by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Lauren Burke, spokeswoman for the governor, wishes them well in their future positions. As the state of Virginia's highest-ranking black politician, these attacks have seemed politically motivated from the start, and Fairfax has even welcomed the investigation to the complaints against him. State Delegate Patrick Hope, who is white, tells the Associated Press he has been accused of being racist for the comments he's made regarding the impeachment of Fairfax. He simply wants to make sure the situation is handled properly and as quickly as possible. Even though Fairfax can't seem to get a fair deal, Governor Ralph Northam has been named the champion to redeem himself by raising $5 million to aid historically black colleges in Virginia as his way of apologizing and making up for his blackface photo scandal to the black community. Once again, people just do not seem to get it. Blackface is not cool, retro, trendy, catchy, or rad. It's racist, and that is not the name of a fashion line. Katy Perry's fashion line has pulled 2 types of shoes after some people compared them to blackface. The Aura Face block heel and Rue Face slip-on loafers were showcased last summer in 9 various colors. They displayed large protruding eyes, nose, and red lips, reminiscent of blackface characteristics, drawings, and figures. In a statement released this past Tuesday by the singer and company, they said that the shoes were envisioned as a nod to modern art and surrealism. The singer says she was surprised and saddened when she heard they were being compared to blackface and were immediately removed from the company's online store and no longer available for purchase. Perry is the most recent of companies to pull back creations after the slippers were compared to blackface. Gucci took a sweater off the market after a host of upset customers and consumers in general made livid comments regarding the lack of respect of the company and what they had for their customers. Prada also retracted a host of accessories that fitted the same description of black monkeys with big red lips in December. Don't you go too far. More Onyx News will be right back after these commercial breaks.
Do you have trouble falling asleep or wake up with a sore neck or headache? Then it's time you discovered MyPillow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. 10 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made my pillow machine washable and dryable. I back my pillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota. I personally guarantee that my pillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own.
Call now or go to mypillow.com. Use this promo code to save over 50% on a MyPillow 4-pack with 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Order now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Boko Haram still plagues the Nigerian people, and they are still fighting President Muhammadu Buhari's claim that the insurgency has been crushed. Militants are still storming into Baga with more violence, and it makes it hard to believe any calm will come soon. The hasty move was rough for some, that pregnant women miscarried and elderly residents passed away in the distress. Nigeria's government now acknowledges an extremist resurgence, but this time by a Boko Haram offshoot. The Islamic State West Africa province is IS Group's largest presence outside the Middle East, estimated to have more than 3,000 fighters. Their near-daily attacks have many traumatized Nigerians, questioning whether they can vote for Buhari as he seeks a second term. The National Assembly has even approved monies to be used to assist in the election, but people are afraid to show up to the polls for fears of being attacked. Buhari, a past military dictator, made his return to power in 2015 with an election victory in which he advised the public he would improve security, corruption, and the economy in Africa's most populous country with 190 million people. This is the same country where hundreds of schoolgirls went missing, thousands of residents have been killed, and enthusiasm has dimmed of ever regaining a safe homeland once again. Buhari is slated to run against Atiku Abubakar, a fellow northern Muslim and former vice president, meaning it may not be the fell swoop of a win that he originally planned. ISIS now has a strong foothold in West Africa, with Nigeria in the forefront of the battle, Information Minister Lai Mohammed declared last week. The fighters are more worried than Boko Haram and at least triple its size, the U.S. Africa Command Chief has said. 39 attacks happened just last month in Borno and Yobe. Trump feels that Representative Ilhan Omar's apology is lame. She has been in the news heavily lately due to her recent thoughts shared online, which painted a picture of the possibility of bribery within politics in Washington. She clearly disagrees with some of the dealings in regard to the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee and how they get business done in the political arena with lawmakers. Omar suggested that members of Congress support Israel only because they're being paid to do so, and not because it's in their best interest to do so. The Minnesota Democrat has already made history in Washington by being one of the first 2 Muslim women to serve in Congress with her recent election. This momentous and historic feat was not enough to prevent her from speaking out and making comments this past weekend on Twitter, stating that she was unhappy with the way Congress was handling business with the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC. "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," she wrote, and when questioned about who she thought was paying these Congress lawmakers, she simply responded with the AIPAC acronym, followed by an exclamation mark to show emphasis. Trump considered the outwardly disrespectful behavior unacceptable and accused Omar of anti-Semitism and said that it has no place in Congress. The president believes that Omar should absolutely resign, for her words, and others are feeling that it might not be a good idea or a bad idea. Omar said that she had no intent of offending any group, especially Jewish Americans, when she insinuated that lobbyists were bribing lawmakers to support Israel. She unequivocally apologized. Vice President Mike Pence is always seconding the president's statements and did so again in this case, saying Omar's tweets were a disgrace and that her apology was, quote, inadequate. A 127-year-old family recipe for mouth-watering Southern biscuits is now in stores across the nation, and Leslie Riley, CEO of Mama Biscuits, is loving every bit of it. Her company has more than 60 products with 32 items in rotation for consumption in stores. Riley is thrilled to celebrate 4 years of valued partnerships with amazing companies like QVC, Wegman, Walmart, Sam's Club, Amazon, and Whole Foods. Her grandmother blessed her with the all-natural, gluten-free recipe, and Riley has made her products a household name. I wanted to create the nostalgia of home cooking from my grandma's recipes with a modern twist. That is what Mama Biscuit is. Simple and authentic handwritten recipes passed down from generations, says Riley. Even though Riley is a past restaurateur, she has continued to work her day job as an IT product manager and fund her business. She was turned down for loans to begin her Mama Biscuit endeavors, so she self-funded her dream and still keeps that flow of income as a project manager. Her unique apple pear pistachio gourmet biscuit was an instant hit, and customers fell in love with her flavor and the biscuits, as well as her consistency and determination to succeed, leading her to garner national attention and distribution. Located in Washington, D.C., it is the first gourmet biscuit company in Virginia and Maryland areas. Mama Biscuit has announced that there will be an expansion to include cooking and baking lessons curated by a former White House chef, no less. Riley even takes time and the thought to donate biscuits to local food pantries, such as the Department of Aging and Frederick Rescue Mission for Families. Make sure you follow Riley on Instagram or IG at MamaBiscuits_Gourmet Biscuits, Facebook at Mama Biscuits Gourmet Biscuit, and Twitter at Mama_Biscuit. To schedule an interview, contact Karen Taylor Bass, TaylorMade Media, at KT@TaylorMadeMediaPR.com. And I want a biscuit. Thank you so much for watching Onyx News. I'm your host, Brittany Brackett. We look forward to seeing you here tomorrow night. Make sure you talk to us on social media and tell us how we're doing. We look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. I'm Brittany Brackett, and this has been your Onyx News. News from a Black perspective.